When you say be fearless, it doesn't mean be fearless at the cost of being foolish.
We learn about life through questions.
How do we manage that in a relationship?
Can it also affect the circumstances?
Are they able to really understand any?
Why all these things are linked together?
So what do we do with social media?
To answer some of these, Mr. Praveen Mankar, founder of Pratibimb Charitable Trust, brings to you Face to Face. This week we are talking about fear.
When we're in a difficult situation, we live in a constant fear and focus more on what can go wrong than what can go right. Today we'll try to find some answers on our fears. So sir, why is it that we fear? What is the origin of this fear? What is the cause of this fear?
Origin is cultivation of your habits. Every subject about human being is about habits. You are afraid out of habit. How did this habit cultivate? Through your childhood and your upbringing. Your parents, your uncles, your aunts, everybody who used to threaten you with some consequences in case you did not comply with certain requirements of your parents. खाना खाओ नहीं तो ये हो जाएगा, सो जाओ नहीं तो वो हो जाएगा, पढ़ाई करो नहीं तो. So everything is connected to a form of punishment, and that fear of punishment is the basis of fear. What do we fear? We fear a loss. I lose something. I lose something and therefore I am afraid. What will I lose? I will lose my freedom. I will lose an opportunity. I will lose some material benefits. I will lose money. I will lose health. I will lose friendship. These are all fears of loss. Fear, the basic genesis of fear is a concept of loss.
But it looks like human resorts to fear at the first instance. So for example, if somebody doesn't answer my call, I'll think he might be in trouble. If a family member is coming home late, we'll think he might have met with an accident. It's the first instinct that humans have. So
it's not the first instinct. When you were born, you had no fear. So it's not the first instinct. It is a cultivated response, cultivated because of a perception of threat. Who created the perception? The people around you. It is not your first response. A child is asked to jump from a height into your arms. The child readily jumps. He has no concept of fear. If you are asked to jump from a height, you will have questions in your mind. गिर गई तो, हड्डी टूट गई तो, इसने नहीं पकड़ा तो. Now these are not your first responses. These are cultivated responses. Cultivated as you grew up. Suspicion, doubt. These are all the thoughts that were cultivated into you, which was the genesis of your fear. Children have no fear. You are born without all these negative emotions. The negative emotions start getting cultivated, built up, strengthened because of repetition. बेटे सो जा नहीं तो गब्बर सिंह आ जाएगा. Who cultivated this concept? The society around you. Your parents, part of the society, your uncles, aunts, part of the society, your friends, your teachers. If you don't do the homework, I will beat you. What is that? Cultivation of fear. You are afraid of being beaten. So everything is connected to getting you to do certain things under force.
So is this fear, it develops after birth or is it innate?
Largely it develops after birth, but there is a concept that some people have fear embedded in their subconscious, which gets carried forward to a next birth for those people who believe in next birth. So I am going to make that statement with reservation.
No, because as a kid I was scared of darkness. Now nobody told me to be scared of darkness.
So that's a carry forward. That's a carry forward of some experience you have had in the past. When I say past, past life. And you never got rid of it and it continued. So when I say past life, there are two things that happen from the past life. One is unfulfilled desires. which were not fulfilled, and you got an opportunity in this body form to fulfill those desires. The second subject is your past karmas. So, again we are talking of the cause and effect. So, you did something for which there was no time to get compensated, either good or bad, and therefore, again you have got an opportunity in this life to compensate, which is karma. So, there are two things that are the genesis of rebirth: unfulfilled desires and karma. So, fear, if as a child, as you say, you are afraid of dark, now nobody instilled the fear of darkness in this birth. So, it is a carry forward of something from the past. Something must have happened to you in the dark in the past, which got picked up by your conscious mind of the past life, settled in your subconscious mind gets carried forward when you take rebirth, and it is embedded in your subconscious mind, which reflects in your expression in this life in the form of fear. Just like any baby who is talented expresses that talent which has been carried forward from the past life. Like you see prodigies who are playing musical instruments at a very tender age, which even maestros take years to master. And here you have a child playing a musical instrument as if he has been trained for years. When did that training occur? Not definitely in this life form, this birth, but a carry forward from the previous birth. So, similarly, fear also gets carried forward. So, yes, but again in the previous birth it was a cultivation through the conscious mind of that birth. Somebody must have threatened. In the darkness, that experience is a threat. I was walking in a dark place and somebody attacked me. I connected darkness to that attack. If there was no darkness, I would have seen my attacker and I would have run away. I wouldn't have been attacked. It was because that there was darkness, I was not aware of this attacker lurking around, and he suddenly sprung on me, attacked me. So, that fear got instilled in my subconscious mind. I passed on to the next birth. That fear resurfaces as fear of darkness.
So there are two kinds of fear, one that comes from the past and
Yes.
one that gets
Cultivated.
after
Yes.
we're born. Okay. So would you call this fear a projection of your mind? Because I'm fearing something that may or may not happen in the future.
Sure, many of it is imagination. What if?
Yes.
And I create fear under the question of what if. I want to get a degree overseas, so I want to apply for an overseas universities. What if I don't get the visa?
Yes.
So there is a fear that I will spend money applying for a particular admission, and after that my visa is denied, my fee is not refunded, I will lose money. Again there is a loss. So there is a fear of loss. Suppose there was no loss, where is the fear? Okay, I didn't get admission in that university, but I had a parallel university in my own country, and I didn't have to pay any fees there, I didn't lose anything. Where is the fear? There is no fear. Fear exists where there is a perception of loss.
That's very nicely said. Fear is always accompanied by when you fear losing also something.
Yes.
So every fear you fear losing.
There is a perception of loss. It may be a real loss, it may be a perceived loss.
Okay. But if we lose the fear, if you don't have that fear of losing something, the fear
If
will
you
also
understand
vanish.
that you don't lose anything, if you understand the laws of the universe, matter cannot be created nor destroyed, it only gets converted. So if there is no destruction, there is no loss, there is only conversion. The biggest fear you and I have is the fear of loss of life,
Death.
death. Now, if you understand the science that there is only conversion, matter doesn't get destroyed nor created, it gets converted. I got converted from this life form into another life form. There is no loss. Fear is gone, fear of death is gone.
But sir, do you think fear can be good sometimes?
Yeah, it prevents you from being foolish. Like somebody says a train is coming, jump in front of it. If there is no fear, you will do that.
Exactly.
And that's foolish.
If I fear
Now,
fire,
that's
then
foolish.
I'm not going to touch it. Because
Absolutely. So,
So,
fear as in constructive fear and destructive fear. So you can use fear to destroy somebody, and you can use fear to help somebody survive. Don't touch fire, you will burn yourself. Don't jump in front of the train. Don't jump from a 10-storied building. And that fear is healthy fear. You are preventing a person from doing something foolish.
But then, sir,
When you say be fearless, it doesn't mean be fearless at the cost of being foolish. Moderation is the key. Everything has a place in life. Fear was created by the Creator, whoever it is, you may call it God. Fear is part of your emotional setup, so it's part of creation. How do you use fear? Do you use fear for your benefit, or do you use fear for your destruction, or somebody else's destruction? That determines whether fear is good or bad. Fear cannot be foolish, and fear cannot be foolhardy. So if I am using fear to dominate, like a parent trying to dominate a child, or an employer trying to dominate an employee, or a country trying to dominate another country. If you don't comply, we will use nuclear weapons. A country is threatening another country. That fear is dangerous fear.
but then we will go on justifying every fear we have.
Justification is a separate subject. Justification is an entirely different stream. I can do a lot of wrong things and yet justify. So we are not talking of justification, we are talking of fear as an emotion. Is it good or bad? Yes, it is good as long as it is protective. It is bad when it becomes destructive.
Exactly. I'm just saying, I might just call every fear of mine as healthy. I'm okay, this is a
Depends.
constructive fear.
Depends.
How can you define
I don't want to invest in share market because I am afraid of losing money. Share market is volatile. So somebody might look at your fear as irrational. And somebody will say that this fear has prevented you from growing financially. Yeah, you might think that I saved money, I didn't lose my money, and somebody might say you missed out on an opportunity to make money. As long as you are happy with your choice, it doesn't matter. You are happy being afraid. Better safe than sorry, that is your mantra.
Yes.
Better safe than sorry. Fair enough. Somebody might say you're foolish. His opinion.
Okay.
You're happy with your choice, that's important.
So what would you call a destructive fear? What is detrimental to us?
Like I said, that you want to dominate somebody and you employ fear as the mechanism. For example, you want to hire a taxi or an auto rickshaw and the rickshaw fellow refuses to go to your destination, and you say, if you don't come, I will shoot you, here is a gun in my hand. And then he says, okay, I will come. So he complied with your request out of fear, not out of his choice. So you threatened. When you employ fear to threaten somebody to do something which against his or her wishes, that fear is not good.
So this fear leaves us with feeling of anxiety and nervousness.
What is anxiety? Anxiety is born out of absence of surety of the result. I want to pass. I have given my exams, but I have to wait for 1 month before the results are declared. For that 1 month, I am anxious. After 1 month, the results are declared. I failed. Anxiety is gone. I failed. Disappointment sets in, sorrow sets in, but anxiety vanishes. So anxiety is anticipation of a result contrary to expectation. That's not fear.
That's not fair. But coming back to fear, how do we overcome? One you mentioned, lose the feeling of losing something, right? So how else can we overcome these fears?
That's it. That's the only mantra, that there is no loss. The maximum loss that a human being can perceive is loss of life. Beyond that, there is no loss. Loss of money, loss of family member, loss of property, loss of face, loss of dignity, loss of name, fame. These are all fears. People know me and glorify my name. People don't know me and I have no name in the society. How does it matter? Do I breathe anything different? Do I drink anything different? Do I eat anything different? Do I live any way different? It's all about my comfort level. I allow a fear of a particular factor to destroy my comfort level.
So the best way to lose our fear is drop the feeling of losing something.
Again, easily said than done.
Absolutely.
It's a matter of cultivation. Fear was cultivated in you through your experiences, either forced on you or they occurred to you inadvertently. It is again up to you to get rid of it through practice.
It's rightly said when they say, he who overcomes his fear truly lives. And a simple key takeaway, drop the feeling of losing something and you get rid of fear.
If you have some questions about life, please connect with us. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for weekly updates.